We've all seen this image, the undisputed monarch of the savannah, lounging lazily in the sun, while the world waits on his command. But look at the numbers. 4 out of every 5 male cubs will never reach adulthood. In an environment where 80% of your peers are wiped out before they can breed, being born a male lion is less of an inheritance and more of a biological death sentence. It begins in total vulnerability. You enter the world blind and helpless, crawling through the grass while hyenas watch from the perimeter. You are a slow-moving, defenseless target from the moment you take your first breath. The savannah isn't a kingdom waiting to be ruled. It is a hostile system that begins trying to eliminate you before you can even open your eyes. If you survive the first 6 weeks, your mother finally leads you out of hiding to meet the pride. This is your introduction to the family you will eventually be expected to lead. But the welcome is a hazing ritual. Cubs twice your size will bite your tail until your legs buckle and pile onto you until you're buried in the dirt. They aren't playing. They are asserting a physical dominance that you are too small to challenge. You have to learn the social hierarchy through observation. You watch which females will share food and which ones will swat you away, and you learn exactly how much space to give the adult males to avoid a violent reaction. Survival at this stage means accepting that you are in the lowest position in the pride structure. You aren't a prince. You are a subordinate who must navigate a landscape of constant, low-level violence. By the time you're 2 years old, your mane begins to grow in patchy and thin. To you, it's a sign of maturity, but to the resident males, it's a biological signal that you have become a competitor. Your fathers will begin by blocking your access to food, then they'll escalate to charging you while you rest. Eventually, they will drive you and your brothers to the very edge of the territory and stand guard until you disappear into the wasteland. At age 3, you are a nomad. You aren't heavy enough to take down large prey on your own, so you survive by hijacking the work of others. You learn to take carcasses from larger groups, not through strength, but through a high-stakes game of nerves. To steal a kill, 2 lions take control by walking directly into the dead center of the pack. By holding a steady gaze and refusing to yield, you force the hyenas to calculate the risk. One by one, they back away, widening the circle. Out here, your ability to project dominance and the strength of your partnership with your brother are more important than raw muscle. If you can't win the psychological battle, you won't live to fight the physical one. By age 4, you are in your physical prime. You begin scouting for a territory of your own, looking for a pride held by an aging male who has lost his coalition. You and your brother strike from opposite sides, forcing the resident male to split his attention. While he focuses on one of you, the other attacks his flank. You wear him down through constant movement until he finally abandons his pride and flees along the riverbank. Winning the territory comes with a brutal requirement. To ensure that only your own genetic line survives, you must eliminate any cubs fathered by the previous male. It is a violent reset that secures your future at the expense of the past. The crown is never a gift. It is a theft, paid for by the lives of the previous generation's offspring. At 7 years old, you are finally the king, but the job is a relentless 24-hour campaign. You spend nearly every waking hour patrolling boundaries that are simply too large for 1 or 2 lions to hold perfectly. You are constantly being watched by nomads, young, well-fed males who look exactly like you did 3 years ago. You have to meet every challenge at the border, standing side by side with your brother to prove that there are no gaps in your defense. The toll on your body is cumulative. Your brother takes a deep bite to the shoulder during a skirmish that never quite heals. He slows down, his patrols get shorter, and the weight of the entire territory begins to shift onto your shoulders. The throne isn't a place of rest. It is a grueling, body-breaking trap that consumes the very strength you used to win it. By age 11, you are alone. Your brother is gone. Your back legs are stiff, and you can no longer cover the full perimeter of your land. You see 3 young challengers emerging from the grass. They aren't faster or stronger than you were in your prime, but they are fresh, and they are working together. You are forced to defend against 3 different angles simultaneously. As you turn to face one, the others strike from your blind spots. You fight until your legs give out, but the sheer volume of the attack is something even a king cannot survive. As your own cub watches from the trees, the cycle begins again for a new generation. In the savannah, power is only ever rented, and the relentless rhythm of the wild always comes to collect.